Super Mario 64 versus Super Mario 64 DS. It's battle video time again, where I pit two titles up against each other to see which one is better. I picked this one because they're both just basically the same game at the same price. And I wanted one to recommend if you decide to download the game. I did a live event to have the fans pick some of the categories. I grabbed all the suggestions from the live chat, put them in a bowl, and picked 4 of them at random, with the last one being the legacy category. So the categories are aged better, most doors, box art, best hair, and sex appeal. Since this is basically the same game with little differences, it wasn't easy to come up with a winner in each of the categories. But I did do it. But remember, this is just for fun, and don't take this too seriously. So with that said, aged better. Super Mario 64 is a classic. It's still a blast to play. Muddy graphics or not. The DS version has plenty of extras like minigames, extra stars, plus it has better graphics. But they're made for a smaller screen. So do all the extras that game offers make it age better? Not really. I feel the controls in the camera were not as good as the original game. Now if you're going to play this on the DS, I say yeah, it's better. Because it was made for it. But on the Wii U, I still say the original game is still better. Most doors. Okay, this one's just silly, and it's not really a contest. Since Super Mario 64 is just a remake of the original game with more levels and stars, and unlockable characters with doors that you switch them out with. So this is obviously going to go to the DS version. That's what you get when you take random categories from a live event. There will be occasionally ones that will favor one without question. Just be happy it wasn't Wario content or most stars. Box art. These boxes are different. The original had Mario flying towards us with a somewhat big castle and some enemies in the background. And the DS version has 4 characters running towards us as well, with some clouds in the background and a blink and you'll miss it castle. So which one is better? And I say it's the original game. You kind of have a feeling like, wow, that's kind of interesting. And it was fun seeing Mario fly towards the player. The DS version looks very generic, and honestly, you could have just put like a tennis racket in Mario's hand and used it for the box art for Mario Sports or one of the party games. There's nothing in this box that says, hey, there's a cool adventure here. So I'm going to give it to the original game. Best hair. Well, since everyone is wearing hats or bald, this one's going to be very hard. I had to find someone with hair that I could take a really good look at. So I found a picture of Bowser to go off. In Mario 64, he has kind of a little patch of mohawk on the top. And the DS version has more hair. In fact, I'd say a lot more hair. I guess that Rogaine worked out for him. Sure, it's not as edgy as the mohawk, but it sure does make him look a lot less silly. So I give this one to the DS version. Sex appeal. One of my commenters in my Super Mario 64 DS review mentioned it wouldn't be possible to do a sex appeal category as they're basically the same game. And that couldn't be farther from the truth when it comes to this category. The original game starts up with Mario getting a letter from Princess Peach telling him to come over for some quote-unquote cake. Princess. What kind of cake is it? Bundt cake? The DS game starts up the same way, with Mario getting the same letter. However, this time when he gets there, he finds 2 other dudes as well. And I have to assume they want some cake too. Mario looks at these other 2 dudes for a second and is like, I guess the princess wants to make a Mario Brothers sandwich with Wario to fill in the gaps. That's pretty messed up, Princess. Mario and Luigi are brothers, and I have no idea what Wario is. Maybe a cousin or something. I have to assume that's why Yoshi came down from the roof and met them. I'm sure they stopped Yoshi and told them to wait for them, because I know the princess is up for some freaky things, but even she draws the line somewhere, even with characters with freakishly long tongues. So I guess the mystery is solved. Yoshi fell asleep while waiting for the train to deboard. So I have to give this one to Super Mario 64 DS for just that possibility that this might have been on the table. So the winner is Super Mario 64 DS. In a world where you have to decide between these 2 games, it looks like the DS version is better with these categories. Well, that's my battle video of Super Mario 64 versus Super Mario 64 DS. If you like, you can check out either of my reviews for these games. Or you can follow me at Twitter at WeViewer, where I talk about which games I'm going to be doing next, or the Nintendo news of the day. I thank you guys for watching, and have a great day.